Go ahead,
Hi,
Karen.
I'm Karen Gully. We're here at the lakefront at Crossroads for Youth. I am the program manager, and I've worked with this organization for 30 plus years.
And I am Chris Vile, and I am the clinical director here at Crossroads for Youth, and I have been here for 22 years.
Back in 1953, a group of judges and dignitaries from Oakland County decided that Oakland County children needed a place to go to camp. So they began looking for a viable land, and they found this farm. It was the Lafer Farm. And from there, our first young man came to live with us, and he's still involved with the agency today.
Right, when it originally started, it would have been what probably most people would consider to be like an orphanage. So you had indigent children from the Oakland County area that maybe didn't have anywhere to live, and they would end up here at Camp Oakland Youth Programs. And then throughout the next 25 to 30 years, our services expanded, and we got largely into the juvenile justice field, where we were then working with young people that were court mandated to come here because of some of the behavioral choices they'd made. In the last 3 years, we've kind of started going back to our roots more now. So half of our children on campus now, of the nearly 40, we tend to have between 40 and 50 young people on campus now who are working on making better choices. So half of our kids are here to do some healing and do some things that they need to do to be able to find appropriate homes, whether they be foster homes, whether they be adoptions, or maybe even back to the biological parents. And so those are the children we're providing services for now today. Oh, proudest moment working here. There are so many of those moments that I would say are proud. And not to sound sappy, but we have young people that come to us who have been really damaged and really hurt. We had a young man that came to us a couple of years ago. He had been in 200 placements. We were actually his 200th placement. He was 15 and a half years old when he came to us. He had lower spastic cerebral palsy as a result of the extreme neglect that he received, even within the system to a certain extent. He had extreme curvature of his legs, about 35, almost 40% curvature of his legs. One of the first things that we did when we brought him onto our campus is we contacted the Shriners Hospital in Chicago. And through a course of many trips back and forth over to Chicago, it was decided that they would actually do the reconstructive surgery for him. And that was a huge decision for us as an agency, because that was going to require intensive aftercare. When you talk about having both of his legs basically broken from the knees down and reconstructed from his hip down to his ankles, it was going to require intensive aftercare and healing. And we made a decision as an agency that we would do it.
And our staff.
So we had to ask our staff to do a lot of things that they weren't really signing on for.
They did it.
But I would say as an agency, one of our proudest moments is that young man is 18 years old today. He walks wonderfully, and he literally stays in contact with us all of the time. He's since left the agency, since left the system. He's out on his own, and he considers us his family. When he talks about family, it's the people at Crossroads for Youth. Because as he says, the first time in his life, he really had people that really cared for him, went the extra mile for him, didn't have to do that, but did it. And that's really what we want to do. That's really what our mission is. I would say that obviously the biggest challenge is money. We are a private nonprofit organization, and so all of our finances really comes directly from our contracts that we have with the counties or the state that we provide services for. Unfortunately, those per diems really only cover the salary for your staff. It doesn't really cover your capital improvements.
We recreated the golf outing here at Crossroads last year. There hadn't been a golf outing for 7 years?
At least.
7 or 8 years. And last year we jumped in with both feet and just recreated it. A bunch of people who'd never created a golf outing. Mm-hmm. And really, we didn't do a bad job. We raised $20,000. We'd like to raise $40,000 this year. We want to double the amount of golfers we had. We'd like more than one hole sign on each hole. We're creeping toward the goal, but we're certainly not there, and the outing is September 7th. So if there's anyone out there who would
Yes.
like to buy a foursome, we'd love to sell you one.
Come out and golf on behalf of our kids. We'd love
That's
to have
right.
you. Right, so Oxford Bank has been a partner with us for many, many years, whether it be from a fiscal partner to volunteering and being involved, like Karen said, with the Meals on Wheels program. So obviously a very strong partnership. with
They've
Oxford
done
Bank.
in service for us. They've come
Absolutely.
out and helped us. In fact, you're coming out soon to do some work here. And they tirelessly work for us whenever we ask them to.
Right.
And they give to us as well.